your concern is that the Ukrainians, a country most people can't find on a map, who've received tens of billions of U.S. tax dollars, don't have enough tanks. I think it's a fair question to ask, like, where's the concern for the United States in that?
Well, it's not my concern. Tucker, I've heard that routine from you before, but that's not my concern.
That dollar that I donate for the presidential fund at the California DMV, give it to Mike Pence. Mike Pence, if you don't get your tail back in that race, America is going to fund your campaign. Yours and yours only. We can pay for everybody else shit. We're going to pay for yours. Get your tail back in that race.
Hey, what it do? Welcome back to the show. I am, of course, James Madison, and yeah, shocker, right? I hate to tell you this, man, but the dude from C-Lab 2020 will not be the president of the United States now or fucking ever. Yeah, Judas Pence here. I hate to break it to you, man. I say that as if there's any pen bros. Are there any pen bros out there? Let me know, penny bros, where you be at. Where are them salt shakers? I need to see them. But yeah, Mike Pence ran a very fucking weird-ass campaign. So originally, we covered this because a guy named Michael Pence put in filled out paperwork to run for president. I'll leave a link to this page in the description below. But Michael Richard Pence didn't file with the FEC for 2024. However, Mike Richard Pence did. Yeah. So, was it Mike Pence? I don't know. But Dick Pence apparently ran for president, and it got a lukewarm reception, and only about a few days later, Mike Pence announced formally that he was running for president. So, and now he is not dropping out. He is suspending his 2024 campaign. Mind you, suspending his campaign in debt. In a lot of debt. But let's get into it. Mike Pence suspends his 2024 presidential campaign. John Levine and Matthew Sabaka. Yeah, sorry, Pence, you're banned. You're not welcome to the MAGA club. You're not America First. You have no place in the America First movement. And most of us didn't really like your Johnny Quest bodyguard looking ass to begin with. You were an olive branch from the establishment too. You were like an olive branch Trump extended by giving you a job to the establishment. And you fucked it up. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's just January 6th. No. There was a lot of people gave Pence a lot of credit. Well, he had Trump's back. Not really. Not on most things, actually. He just kind of said, well, we'll sit back and we'll see what the president does. I think he'll do what he thinks is best. Yeah, sorry. That's about as genuinely a sign of trust as a Southern woman saying, well, bless your heart, is a sign of good fucking will. If you know what that means, that's Southern grammar for, I hope you get hit by a car after you stub your toe on a fucking spiked board, bitch. That's what bless you and your little heart actually means. Or even more aggressive is the, well, God bless you and your family. If you're from outside the U.S. and you get a Southerner to say, God bless you and your family, you have pissed them off. And they want you impaled. I shit you not. Anyway, I have an international audience. I have to have fun with it occasionally, right? Let's see what this video is, if it plays. Oh, let's check audio. All right.
Last June, I announced my intention to seek the Republican nomination for President of the United States because I believe this country is in a lot of trouble. I was raised to believe that to whom much is given, much will be required. And with everything our country is facing, I just couldn't sit this one out. But the Bible tells us that there's a time for every purpose under heaven. traveling across the country over the past 6 months, I came here to say it's become clear to me this is not my time. So after much prayer and deliberation, I have decided to suspend my campaign for president effective today. Now, I'm leaving this campaign, but let me promise you, I will never leave the fight for conservative values, and I will never stop fighting to elect principled Republican leaders to every office in the land.
Neocon
So help me
trash
God.
bag. Again, I'm leaving this campaign, but I'm not leaving the fight. He's not, saying I surrender, done. No, he's just suspending. That's pausing. He's just freezing his campaign. Effectively, it means it's over. Effectively, it means he's done. But still, it's a little like, why don't you just concede? No. But let's continue on. Former Vice President, my apologies, Michael Pence, or Richard Michael Pence, announced Saturday he is suspending his 2024 presidential campaign. The Republican presidential candidate made the announcement while speaking at the Republican Jewish Coalition's leadership conference. Quote, "I came here to say it's become clear to me this is not my time," Pence said. "I want to thank our supporters across the country, our devoted campaign family, and volunteers whose efforts have sustained us in this campaign." He added, "Let me thank you for all the opportunities for serving as your vice president." He will not name what administration he served in, by the way, which is adorable. He added, "Let me thank you for the opportunity for serving as your vice president. It was the greatest honor of my life." Yeah, it's also the height of it, too. Fucking peaked, dog. Pence's departure from the race likely signals the end of his political career. Yeah, no shit. By the way, fucking these boots are made for walking ass is done, too. But we'll get to that, too. But here's the thing. I didn't really say much about him other than dead horse candidate. I knew Ron Paul's campaign was going to be a fucking disaster from before he ran. And those of you who've been listening for a while knew that I had been saying that there's nothing to suggest he'd be a good candidate for president, or a good president, or let alone be able to run an effective national campaign. Man, did I get the comments for that one, but a year later, folks, come on now. Oh, not even a year later. Pence, a longtime pro-Israel diehard, served up plenty of red meat for his departure speech, as well as including calling for a nationwide ban on an anti-Semitic boycott. You didn't like the Bud Light boycott, but now you want people to boycott because they don't support Israel. Get in a fucking lane, dude. This is one of the things that drives me crazy. Not him specifically. He's pro-war whenever he can be. But, like, so many people, right? Like, just an example. You got Ben Shapiro and you got Jimmy Dore. Two people who are, like, anti-Ukraine conflict, anti-funding it. But when it comes to Israel, Hamas, oh my God, are they so pro-fucking war. And and both sides glorify and sugarcoat their sides of it. Ugh. No, fuck both of them. Not my flag, not my fucking war. Bottom line on that one. Oh, let's continue on. You said something mean about Jews. I don't like your Palestine fucking cookies. I'm not gonna buy from you. I want a federal ban on this practice. No, you fucking douche canoe. Quote,
Israel has no choice but to crush Hamas. America will stand with Israel today, tomorrow, and every hard day of fighting until Hamas is destroyed once and for all, he said.
You know why Benjamin Netanyahu's really mad about this, right? They're Jewish and they're getting blown up by a group called Hamas. It's unfortunate. It's a shout out to a fucking 4-year-old joke. Anyway, former vice president was met with sustained applause from the friendly audience before walking off the stage with his wife. Former second lady, Karen Pence, his high school sweetheart, who I think she has his soul in the same clutch bag she keeps his balls in. Since announcing his candidacy in June, Pence has struggled to make inroads with the GOP voters despite his stature as the former vice. There is no stature there. He systematically destroyed every bit of goodwill he was given from day one, and ended in a fucking wimp with his tail between his legs, running away, saying, "Oh, there's nothing they could have done. There's nothing here. There's no precedent for this." And everyone was saying, "Kennedy, Nixon, you stupid twat. What you're being called on to do has been done before. It has precedent. It has merit." It's retarded. But I'm not even gonna. I don't. The reason why I don't throw January 6th in with the reasons to shit on Mike Pence, twofold. One, the setup, the honeypot, the Fedsurrection, all that shit that went on that day, however you feel about it, whatever narrative you want to believe about it, however you want to believe it. Everything's so off of whack. I struggle to hold anyone accountable outside of, like, AOC for lying about what happened that day and politicians directly involved with the planning and scheming it. I don't necessarily think Mike Pence had anything to do with any sort of, like, behind-the-scenes planning of J6. I think he just kind of was there, doing his job, and got caught up in the middle of it, and then gave a limp-cocked fucking ruling afterwards. And they said, "Nothing I could have done." Huh? As the cat meme goes. His polling has never risen above single digits. And yeah, he was really the Kamala Harris of this GOP cycle. And Vivek was really the Tulsi Gabbard on the election stage. That was it 2 times or just 2 times? And on the campaign trail, he had been consistently overshadowed by his old boss, former President Donald Trump, and other field contenders like Florida Governor DeSantis, or Tiny D, as we will call him. The businessman Vivek Ramaswamy. Pence has also faced ire from many grassroots Republican voters who have consistently blamed him for not aiding Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. Pence has long insisted such activity from him would have been unconstitutional. Courts can figure that out, homie. There was precedent for what you're being called on to do. But here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. Can you explain to me exactly what he was being called on to do that day? It's very muddled. A lot of people really can't explain or lay it out. And the alternate electors have gag orders on them currently, so they can't really talk. Just a weird day, right? Nothing, but just the election thing go, right? The way Pence chose to vote on January 6th is the only interesting thing about that day. Yogo Agogo. The Yogo's candy catchphrase? Weird. Mike, you have the personality of a chemistry teacher from the 50s. We conservatives are looking for a guy like Reagan, who had charm, intellect, dementia, a sense of humor, sporty, excellent judgment. He traded weapons and lied to the American people about it. He also brought in no-fault divorce. He also did DARE. He also launched the war on drugs. He also married a woman because of her amazing blowjob skills. Nancy Reagan's nickname was literally the blowjob queen of Hollywood. I shit you not. You can fact check me on that right now. True facts. Buddy. I'm vaguely right-wing. Let me tell you something right now. We don't want a Reagan type. We don't. We really don't. Sorry. Hate to break it to you, we don't. We want an Eisenhower type. We want like a Patton type. Big anti-big government. Big anti-socialist in any fashion, regard whatsoever. Reagan had a good first 3 years. And what followed after that was absolute dog shit. But alright. I'll do you the courtesy of finishing up your comment without interrupting it. Quote, the manly man type who chops his own wood. Bud. You're a good guy. No doubt. But you were not blessed with a personality. You cannot buy one. You cannot take lessons on how to have one. It's innate. Try teaching as a career. We need more male teachers in the biz. Wow. Joe Biden. Come on, man. You just brought a tear to my eye bringing up Reagan. Unfortunately, they don't like him like that anymore. Yeah, for good fucking reason. Reagan sucked. Reagan was like a golden cow to end golden cows. Get the fuck out of here, dog. Get the fuck out of here. And DeSantis 28. I'm not sure about the good guy part. Yeah, for real. I'm not sure about your fucking username either, though. That being said, this has been Inside Four Walls. There's not much more to really say about this. Come on now. This is Mike Pence. This picture right here sums it all up. But here's the thing. He ran a more cohesive fucking campaign than Ron goddamn DeSantis fucking did. How weird is that? It was sheerly on spite alone Pence didn't do better. But he should have known. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. I think there's a lot of people on the right, like Nikki Haley, Mike Pence, and Ron DeSantis, who have some shadowy figures hyping them up behind the scenes. And when I say shadowy, I don't necessarily mean W. I really like Vivek Ramaswamy. There's some stuff with that WEF conversations I need to look further into, but it might go a little bit further than him suing them to get his name off the list. He might actually have been active, but I don't know. I really don't know. I have to look further into that. I've heard some conversations recently, and that's the only thing I can really say. I really probably shouldn't have brought it up to begin with. I gotta look more into it. I still really like the guy so far. Come on now. Did anyone think Mike Pence... Look, no judgment. If you really thought Mike Pence had this in the bag, do me a weird favor. I want you to downvote this video. You heard me. I want to know. Did you really think Mike Pence was going to win? If you did, downvote this video. You didn't get your way. You got fucking duped. I don't know why. But I'd like to hear the arguments below. Perhaps you can change my mind, as the Mug Club guy says. That being said, this has been Inside Four Walls. I've been your host, James Madison, and I will talk to you guys later.